Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this episode of the Sullivan Sports Show. I am your host, Kevin Sullivan, and today we have an amazing episode. A little backstory first. I haven't really been into the NFL draft as much. I'm just like, I know the top few players. I'll watch like the top 10 and then I'll be good. But now I'm actually very interested in the draft, especially seeing that there's not much sports going on. And I found this rather fascinating, and that it's something I want to continue to do, create like small little mock drafts and stuff. So so today, as you probably already tell from the thumbnail and the title, we are doing my top 10, or the top 10 picks that are going to happen in the 2020 NFL draft. And with all that out of the way, I say we just dive right into it. So pick one is Cincinnati, and this is probably one of the easiest choices, predictions to make, unless something unforeseen happens, like insane. Pick one, it's going to be the quarterback, Joe Burrow, out of LSU. He had an amazing season. I believe he threw for like 60 touchdowns. I don't actually have the stats up, which is kind of bad. But he just had an amazing season. Again, everyone already knows this pick. I'm not going to spend much time here. There have been rumors of Cincinnati trading this pick away, but I don't think they're going to do it. He's a franchise QB. He's going to be staying in Ohio already. If you're Cincinnati, you're going to take Joe Burrow. Our next pick, the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Redskins select defensive end Chase Young. Again, another easy pick, even though the Redskins, they already have a nice D-line set up already. You've got Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott, and then an emerging Daniel Jones in your division. You're going to want to put some pressure on him. You're going to want to put some pressure on him quick. It's just Chase Young is such an extraordinary player, and if he doesn't go second after Joe Burrow, then I don't know. If the Redskins don't take him, especially also considering they have the defensive-minded head coach Ron Rivera, he could really make Chase Young an amazing player, and that is who the Redskins are most likely going to pick. Pick number 3. We have the Lions, and they select cornerback Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State. While Isaiah Simmons is a very tantalizing option here for the Lions, I ultimately think that they're going to take a swing on Okudah. Ohio State, from what I've seen and what I've heard, they've just produced cornerbacks, and he's been a stellar player throughout the entire season, making plays, getting some nice interceptions, swatting some nice balls away. Again, Isaiah Simmons is could be a really good option for him here to match up with Jamie Collins, but considering they have Jamie Collins, I don't think they're going to go for a linebacker. They don't really need him. Again, they're also in a division with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback. They got the Vikings with their offensive weapons and Kirk Cousins, not to mention the Bears could get better if they decide to go with Nick Foles. So I definitely believe that they should take Jeff Okudah, especially considering they just got rid of, what's his name? I'm blanking on him. Darius Slay. The main reason they probably did that is for money, but they should definitely go and pick up a cornerback that can be a staple for their defense. Now for pick number 4, this is the first trade of the draft. We have the Chargers trading up to, or the Giants are trading down, and the Chargers are now picking from the 4th spot. And with the 4th pick in the NFL, the 2020 NFL Draft, the Giants select quarterback Justin Herbert from Oregon. So the Chargers wanted a quarterback, and they want to get him right before Miami can steal him. They are very high on Herbert because he's not as injury prone as Tua. Not to mention, while Herbert does have a lot of kinks, especially seeing as like coaches limited him very much in the offense. They mainly had him do short passes and throw a lot of checkdowns. He was also pretty slow in his progressions, but however, it would be tough for them to start Tua right away due to his injury concerns. So ultimately, I think they are going to be taking Justin Herbert, quarterback from Oregon, instead of Tua Tagovailoa. That I get, yeah. And with pick number 5 in the 2020 NFL Draft, Dolphins will select quarterback Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. I believe that Miami actually wanted Tua at the spot, and they're gonna be very glad to get him. But it's sorry, that's my brother. He slams the doors even though I tell him not to. Where was I? I'm sorry. Miami wanted Tua, but they wanted to make it seem like they were going to draft Herbert to get the Chargers to trade up and try to take Herbert. They end up getting their quarterback of the future, but due to injury concerns, he can sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick and learn from Ryan Fitzpatrick for a year, similar to what Patrick Mahomes did with Alex Smith. And now we have pick number 6, which was traded to the Giants from the Chargers, and they are going to select the offensive tackle Andrew Thomas from Georgia. Well, he's not the top most, like he's probably about number 3 or number 4 on most people's draft boards. I actually think he's going to go first, the first offensive tackle. So then again, the Giants, the reason they traded down was because none of the teams above them or near them needed an offensive tackle. This allowed them to get some more draft picks and whatever. I didn't really say what the Chargers traded them. They're just kind of, the Chargers are going to give up a haul to get Justin Herbert, and with the Giants needing an offensive tackle more than anything right now, they're like, oh hey, Miami's going to pick Miami and the Lions and all them. They're all going to pick they're not going to pick offensive tackles, so they're definitely going to take an offensive tackle. I like Andrew Thomas here for multiple reasons. He's the most well-rounded, in my opinion, via his pass blocking and his run blocking. Therefore, taking him here would be a nice advantage for Daniel Jones, getting him a nice tackle to protect him from the edge rushers. And then we have him making some huge gaps for Saquon Barkley, because the offense is going to run around most likely Saquon Barkley in the run game, but also when Daniel Jones needs to throw, he is going to need a nice tackle there to protect him. With the 7th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select linebacker Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. Due to massive needs of other teams, the Panthers get an absolute steal of a pick with Isaiah Simmons. He's arguably the best athlete in the entire draft. And then with the retirement of the star linebacker Luke Kuechly, they definitely need a replacement, and Isaiah will definitely fill his shoes. He's so versatile. He can also just play anywhere on the defense, and he can just be placed anywhere. He made so many plays at Clemson doing that, and he's just so versatile. He's such an explosive and athletic player. Getting him at pick 7 is an absolute steal for the Carolina Panthers. With the 8th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select offensive tackle Jedrick Wills from Alabama. The Cardinals had a tough choice at this spot to grab an offensive tackle to protect Kyler Murray, or take one of the best defensive tackles in the draft, Derek Brown from Auburn, and bulk up their defensive line. Ultimately, I believe they're going to go and protect their best asset, which is Kyler Murray, and grab an outstanding tackle in Jedrick Wills. And for some people being like, oh, why wouldn't they take like Mekhi Becton here? He's a really large man, and Kyler Murray is kind of short and needs to be able to see over the line. So not having like a 6'7" monster, having more like a 6, I think he's 6'3" or 6'4", definitely could help them a lot. And this is the second and final trade that I have happening in the top 10 of the 2020 NFL Draft. In my mock draft, we have pick 9 being traded to Tampa Bay from the Jaguars. So at the beginning of making this video, I was debating with having the Jaguars select a wide receiver here, because they're most likely going to stay with Gardner Minshew, if not for this year, maybe longer, and they're going to want to give him a nice weapon, considering this is a absolutely stud draft for wide receivers. There's just so many good wide receivers. Got Jerry Jeudy, we got Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs, and who's the guy from Oklahoma? CeeDee Lamb. They're all just stellar wide receivers. But I do have Tampa wanting to trade up in the top 10 to get one of the pristine offensive tackles in the draft. And they are going to be, I am way out of position here. The reason that the Jags trade away is because they can probably get one of those top wide receivers in with the first pick that the Jags are trading to Tampa. They'll probably still be able to get one of those good wide receivers, most likely. And so they're going to take that risk, and they're going to get a haul for that pick that Tampa will be giving them. And now for the actual pick itself, Tampa will be drafting, pardon me, offensive tackle Mekhi Becton, Tampa is scared that one of the the really good offensive tackles will not fall to them, and especially getting Mekhi Becton here will be huge for them, especially protecting Tom Brady, who is definitely going to need some big beefy linemen to protect him up front. All right, and at pick number 10, we have Tristan Wirfs going to the Cleveland Browns from Iowa. Cleveland is deciding to play it safe here and get one of the better offensive tackles in this draft. Last season, their offensive line was abysmal, but once they saw that one of the 3 top offensive linemen was not taken too early, they're going to wait and they're going to draft one of the top offensive linemen in this draft. Baker will surely be happy about this pick, especially alongside Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And sorry about the cut from earlier. I got disturbed while recording. I hate that. And now on to the Pats section, the Patriots section of the video, where I'll be talking about kind of what I want to see happen, what would make the draft very interesting, and then what I believe will actually happen. So first, nice little intro. As most of you know, I'm a huge Patriots fan. I've lived in New England since I've been born. Patriots all the way, my number one team, no matter what happens, even if Brady decides to leave, which he does. It's very sad to see Brady leave. However, it does give me a nice speculation topic to talk about. Now, see, first, for what I would love to see the Patriots do in this draft, what would be an absolutely mind-boggling trade that could happen if the Patriots trade up a top pick or their first pick and then a haul of other picks or whatever to like Miami or the Chargers or something to draft Tua and have him be our franchise quarterback. I would be ecstatic. It would be insane. It would be something that no one sees coming. And then, especially because the Patriots are always trying to trade out and accumulate more draft picks in the later parts of the round and try to get some diamonds in the rough. But this, with Tua leading the Patriots, it would shake up the AFC East, and the Pats might actually have a shot in the coming years with Tua as their franchise quarterback. Another thing that I would much rather have happen in this draft, though, is to stock up on picks for next year and do our best to tank and get Trevor Lawrence. If we could have Trevor Lawrence, that would also be amazing if the Patriots somehow end up with him in the 2021 draft. I believe that's when it'll come out because that's his junior year, depending on how the college season decides to go through this year. But if we somehow draft Trevor Lawrence whenever we draft him, I would be ecstatic as well. I would have no problem with just taking a nice bridge year this year if it meant we get Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback from Clemson. Now on to the topic of what I think is most likely going to happen. I believe that drafting Trevor and saving picks for next draft is way more likely to happen than drafting Tua this draft. However, I believe that Belichick is going to try to accumulate draft capital for the coming drafts. However, I believe that we might not tank enough to win enough game, or we won't be able to tank enough. We'll win too many games, and we won't end up landing Trevor. And if that happens, hopefully we will end up landing Justin Fields or someone around that caliber. And with that, I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at, I believe, Kevin Sullivan 58. I think my Twitter is Kevin Sul 58. I don't know my Twitter off the top of my head. And again, please subscribe if you enjoy this content. Also, be sure to check out my Pokemon Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver Nuzlocke, or Randomized Nuzlocke. I've been having so much fun with those. A new episode should be coming out soon. I'll also try to be making some more content on sports. There isn't really much to talk about, hence why I'm doing the other episode. Then again, I'm very, very, very excited for all of this to happen. I think my next episode will hopefully be a reaction to the draft slash kind of a reevaluation and a review of my mock draft comparatively to what actually happened in the draft, and kind of compare the two. Hopefully that I can make happen. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching my 2020 NFL mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next episode. Farewell.